It is really simple. We want to speak about why people are getting so sick. We, we also want to know why the medical profession states that they will heal you. However, about 97% of the time, their main focus is just making sure you are okay. Now, don't worry. I know you're thinking, what am I going to do? Because somebody out there today has diabetes. Somebody out there today has a heart ailment that needs to be fixed. So somebody out there has shingles. Somebody out there's soul and spirit has been broken. That person is wondering, what shall I do? And if I'm a child of the Most High, how come God hasn't intervened in my dilemma? Oh, I got good news for you today. I'm going to tell you the, the reason why God hasn't intervened, and then I'm going to tell you how to get God or how to become God and intervene. Are you ready? Because it's very short and quick, so you may miss it, but re listen to this several times, and I guarantee you'll catch it. And when you do, your life will change. If we look at the scriptures, it mentions having one God, one mind will unfold the power. Excuse me. It will unfold the power. It is the power of God, one mind, that will heal the sick and fulfill these sayings of the old and the new scriptures. I am Lord that healeth thee, and I have found a ransom. When the divine precepts are understood, they unfold a foundation of fellowship in which one mind is not at war with another, but all have one spirit, one God, one intelligent source in accordance with the scriptural command. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ. Man and his maker are correlated in a divine science. Real conscious is directly intertwined only with the things of God. Now, here's how we get healed. Second part. If God is admitted to be the only mind in life, there cease to be any opportunity for sin and death. When we learn in science how to be perfect, even as our Father in heaven is perfect, thought is turned into new and healthy channels or energy meridians. We turn that energy meridian, our thought and energy, into these channels towards the contemplation of things immortal and away from the material things of life. We turn it back to the principle of the universe, which included harmonious man. Remember, at one time, man and God was connected. There was nothing that man needed that God did not deliver. Material beliefs and spiritual understanding never mingle. Now, remember, the latter will destroy the former. Discord is the nothingness named error. Harmony is the somethingness named truth. Nature and revelation inform us that like produces like. Listen to what I said. Like produces like. And God said, I made you in my what? In my likeness. So God made you an intelligent being with a with the ability to have a godly power of creation, procreation, understanding, a spiritual consciousness that can reach a divine energy that can be healing of all people. He allowed them to get manna from heaven. Remember, there's a divine science, but that divine science will not gather grapes from thorns nor figs from thistles. Intelligence never produces non-intelligence, but matter is ever non-intelligent and therefore cannot spring from intelligence. Now to all that is unlike, uttering an eternal mind, the mind saith, Thou shalt surely die. And elsewhere, the scriptures say that dust returns to dust. The non-intelligent relapses into its own unreality. Matter never produces mind. The immortal never produces the mortal. Good cannot result in evil. As God himself is good and his spirit, goodness and spirituality must be immortal. Now their opposites, evil and matter are mortal. Error has no creator. If goodness and spirituality are real, evil and materiality are unreal and cannot be the outcome of an infinite God. There is something you want to think about here. Natural history prevents vegetables and animals as preserving their original species, like reproducing reproducing like. You would never see a pig reproduce a cow. You would never see a grape reproduce an orange, an acorn reproduce a peanut, because God made things in this universe in one accord. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Like produces like. If you're sick and you dwell on sickness, you're going to be sick. If you're hungry and you dwell on hungriness, you're going to be hungry. If you're tired and you just don't get up, you're going to stay tired. Like produces like. God made you in his likeness. And I want to ask you something. If God is immortal, energy never dies, there is no evil, only good, then what's wrong with you? Why are you sitting here today acting like you are a immoral, immortal being? Did you ever think that God never told you that you was going to die? We created death. Go back to the original Adam and Eve. We created death. God never included death in man's lineage. Man was created to live forever. Man was not created to be sick. Man was not created to be hungry. Man was not created to be alone. Stay with me now. Man was created to be like that he was, and that is God. That's why God made a place for man in the Garden of Eden. He could have easily put man anywhere in this world, but he said, you know what? You are so special, I'll give you a garden, and that garden is a universe. And over all the universe, I allow you to have command over. But see, you have been convinced by those who do not understand the divine science of revelations and healing is that you are just another toy in the garden. You're just another piece of the puzzle. You're not a piece of the puzzle. You are the puzzle. You are the complete puzzle. Everything else is a piece that got put together to complete you. You are the puzzle. The completed puzzle, not just a piece. If you want healing this morning, one of the things you must do is to focus on one God and one mind. Because we do know there was a time when man was able to communicate with God. Now they got a little ahead of themselves and tried to build a stairway to heaven. I want you to think about your body. That stairway that is corrupted is in your spinal cord. It controls your whole body. If it snaps, you won't walk, you won't talk, you will eventually die because it controls everything from respiration. It controls your inhalation. It controls your ability to walk, to talk, to move. It connects your brain to your feet. That is your stairway to heaven. When everything in your spinal cord begins to work and connect, that's why we should be going to a chiropractor instead of a neurologist. Don't question me. I'm trying to tell you something. And if you listen, you'll be healed. Most diseases are not physical in nature. Most diseases stem from our inability to connect with God. That stairway that they said in Babylon was destroyed was your spinal cord, was the firing of every synapses in your cord. Once they tried to build the stairway, think about it, build the stairway to God. We're not going to even talk about the Anunnaki. They were separated and not allowed to speak to one another. And everybody began to speak a different language. Every cell began to speak a different language. Everything in your body. This is where cancer comes from. Cancer is not a disease. It's a miscommunication of one cell to another cell. If you can align your body back into its original preference, you will begin to see a spontaneous healing. Somebody said to me the other day, they said, how did Jesus Christ, or how did Yeshua heal the body so quickly? How did he know how to heal the blind? What he didn't. What he did was he used the power of touch. For as we know, he used spinal manipulation. Remember,